Alrighty, I believe we've started streaming now, and we have an echo already. Bottom right camera looks like. How about now? Can I mute that, or? I reckon I'm getting some sort of bottom right camera. How do I make it so that it's? I I really hope it's off. Now I've got the volume percentage on. Yeah, 0%. Perfect. So I've made the bottom right camera mute now, which is fantastic. Everything should be good. All right, hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to be taking a look at this model off parts paper that I was looking at last week. For those who haven't seen last week's, I would not recommend that you go to view it. The quality's slightly lower, the resolution slightly lower than the screen, and there was also an echo issue with the audio because it looks like my webcam was recording as well as, was recording audio as well as the mic I've currently got on. So just to give you a bit of background, we have this selection of word searches here. I've accidentally clicked that, it's going to be a nightmare now. Everything's going to freak out for a little bit. Whenever I had to do that, unpin that. I'm unpinning that from the taskbar. I've got this, have this section of word searches, a selection of word searches like so. One per question, and we have a selection of questions on, say for example, question 39 is which word from the list appears in the grid? And you can have a look. The words will only appear left to right and top to bottom. So we can see, I don't know, let's have a look. So I thought it was shrew, so we should see the word shrew here somewhere. Left to right, top to bottom. Can we see shrew along here? Ooh. Well, it'll be terrible if it turns out that I've got this wrong. Shrew. There we go, right there. HD. It looks like it's on the second, so this is top to bottom. HD shrew. For S. Shrew right here. Whee! So it looks like I've got at least one question right, but it progressively gets more and more difficult because we've got left to right, top to bottom here, left to right, top to bottom here. Then I believe right now it goes in reverse, so you have to sort of concatenate them all. We used concat functions to concatenate everything from left to right, transposed it for top to bottom, and had to use this horrible formula that I found online somewhere to reverse that, because there's no sort of inbuilt reverse function in Excel for some reason. And now we've gotten to the point where I really hope the quality is good enough for you guys to be able to see it. Now you can. As you can see, it says words. Words on this grid can appear left to right, top to bottom, right to left, bottom to top, diagonally in any direction, which is an absolute nightmare. So we're sort of in the middle of trying to figure that out. And so what I thought I'd do is start from the beginning again and try and figure out how we're going to build something like this, where we can get a string of this whole word search, but diagonally instead of top to bottom or left to right. So I thought I'd just copy and paste this into a different sheet, and let's have a quick look just to see what's going on. So what I really want to do is, because if you concatenate this, concat, what you sort of get is you get it sort of goes across like this, starts all over again, goes across. So say if I were to change all of these exclamation marks, it will look a lot more simple. So you see it goes from Y through to D, exclamation mark, from W, W, all the way through to X, and so on and so forth. And so what I want is to figure out some way of being able to get the coordinates relative to this. This is 1 through to 10, and this would be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Because then what I could do is I could do something like this equals mid text. Text is this one, start number 11, 1, and that returns this here. So I'm hoping if I change this to 13, that's going to be a C, and so on and so forth, right? So what I've got to figure out is what pattern does it go in. When going diagonally, it goes from 1, then 2 to 11, and 3 to 12 to whatever the hell this is. So I've got to figure out what that is left, and then I'll reverse it and do it the other way around, and we'll know what diagonally. Actually, that's true. Yes, it is. Yeah, if I reverse this entire range, then it will. I could just apply the same formula basically. So let's have a quick look. I'm going to treat this as the Y axis and the X axis, and I'm going to figure out what the coordinates are for each of the subsequent iterations in this diagonal pattern, and then I could probably use the length, the height and the length of the word search to figure out what position it would be in here. So let's have a quick look at this right now. So let's have a look at the X. If I put X and Y here, we're going to have a look. The first one's going to be 1 and 1. Next one's going to be 2. X equals 2, Y equals 1. So 2, 1. Next one would be 1, 2. Oof. Next one would be 3, 1. You sure? Sure this one is? Yeah, this is 1, 2. 3, 1. So that would be 3, 1. I actually worked this pattern out last time, so it's a bit cheating, but I know this one's 2, 2 now, because this one's 2, 2. And then 1, 3. What I could do actually is just do this. Equals. I've got to make this ds to stay the same. I could just do this, and then the y coordinate, but make that absolute. Do I have to make absolute there? No, it's the opposite. I want to make the column absolute, and this one I want to make the row absolute. Let's see if I've done this right. It should be 2, should all be 1s. 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1. Let's see if it works down as well. 1, 2, 1, 3. Yeah, it looks like this works fine. So I've got this now. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. And I'll just do one more so I know what's going on. It's 4. 4, 1. Split these out in just a second. Ugh. 3, 2. For those who don't know, I'm just using Alt HVV to paste as values, which is flipping amazing. So 1, 4. One thing I don't realize is how, or don't think about, is how on earth Ooh, OHEF. Fantastic. So what we have here for the x's, we have 1, 2, 1. Actually, we have 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's sort of like a triangle. So let me explain what I'm talking about here. So if I were to do a sequence here, sequence formula, do 4. We start off with 4 here, and then for each of these, transpose, then sequence. I'll probably do all this in one formula, I reckon. Yeah, of course. Of course, that correction's okay. So what we have here is we have 1. Stick these in bold. So, this is the index. We've got 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's what we have here. And now we have the opposite here. We have 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So we have 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how it looks. They both go top to bottom, but it looks like Y goes left to right and X goes right to left. So all we have to do is figure out how to apply this somehow, so that we can use. I know there's some way of using this shape here and these here, so that we go to this, and instead of there being, it is 45 diagonal in any direction, we can have diagonal 1 and diagonal 2 here, and it will show us a string of all these. So let's just have a quick think about this. I actually did start creating a tool which will allow us to, hopefully we could just grab a massive triangle like this and use it almost as a table to join on, if that makes sense. So let's figure out what the relative position is here. We know they're all squares. So if I just have a look here, the grid size is never like an oblong. It's always 10 by 10, 20 by 20, 100 by 100. So I'm just going to call that n. And n's always 10. So what I've got to figure out is this is supposed to equal 1 because it's here. This is supposed to equal 2. This one here is supposed to equal 11. So I've got to figure out how that works right now. So I want to sort of start off with a formula that I think makes sense. So I can test them out, and hopefully we can start to grab different positions throughout this grid and do it diagonally. Hope this is all making sense so far. Let me see. Alright, let's have a think about this now. N's always equal to 10, and I think it's always going to be no, this one's Y. It's going to be Y minus 1 times something plus something. That's what I think it's going to be. Just my experience with stupid formulas like this. It's always going to be Y or X minus 1. And so to return 1, let's start off with row 2, might make a bit more sense because we've got 11 here. So for that, it would be 1 times, so it'd be row, so Y minus 1 equals, I'll put this in brackets, E7, so Y minus 1, and then times this N here. Then I'm going to plus X. Have I cracked this first time around? Yeah, 1, 2, 1. How about this? I don't know whether I can do this. Yes, I'll just do 1. 1, 11, 41, 51. I'll fill this out. 61, 71, 81, 91 equals this plus 1, and then copy and paste this everywhere. We've got 1 to 100 right now. So if I were to have a look at this, if I were to have a look at equals mid text, make sure this is, it's not going to work because there are multiple, yeah, but that it will work with the words. Single digit anyway, doesn't really matter. Start numchars 1, and I'll do 2 for some of them as well. So we've got 1 here, 2 here. Have I got this wrong too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's have a look at this. It should work. It should work. I wonder what's. Oh, I see. Because number 10 was double as well. Okay, so we do know this works then. So I've got a funny feeling this is going to work fine. I'm just going to have to check afterwards, basically. But it looks like this is good. 3 and then 12 will be next to 1 and 21. Yeah, this is starting to make sense now, I think. But it could be. What it might actually be is it might be equals y, then concatenate. Now wait a second. I'm seeing the 2 here, the 1. So if I did equals y minus 1. The great thing about Excel is you can concatenate numbers as strings. So it does something like this. It does the exact same thing. So here's a more simple formula. It's y minus 1 and 2. The exact same I don't know how much more simple it is. It's quite nice to see though, I guess, isn't it? So we've got this down now. What we have to do is we have to, this is going to go up to 100, so I sort of need a string of numbers going to 100. And I need to figure out how I can use that as a tool to try and figure out dynamically which one I'm supposed to be grabbing. And also what I've done in previous ones is I've had these horrible things around the side as well, which we can't probably do. Yes, I can do it. I can do it because there's a reason why I can do it. It's because I just change it into 11 instead. Ooh, sorry about that. So let's think about creating a tool then. I'm going to get rid of this because this is too flipping massive. I'm going to try and do this in one formula basically. So we have this thing here, sequence. Obviously, I reckon if I did this, instead of J17, we had a sequence. Instead of J17, I stuck that sequence 4 in there. That didn't work at all. So let's have a look at this sequence. Maybe there's a better way of doing this. What I'm actually looking to do, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then for each of these, what I actually want to do is I want to have a sequence for each of these, if that makes sense. Just change them all to 1s. Why the hell's it done that? How else can I do this? Is there like a pattern for this I'm missing out? What's the general formula for this? Here's n. Ah, no. I'll put r for some other reason. So there's n. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this bit makes sense. I don't know why for 3 it suddenly starts going back down to 1 though. So x is equal to n something 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 is what I'm trying to figure out. N minus 2. Do both of these added up? No, because these are the same, don't they? There's going to be lots of dead air here when I try and figure something out. Instead, I mean, we're 20 minutes in already and we've not even started this. I've just explained what's going on. This is quite sick though. I like this a lot. So what I want to do is I want to build a formula. I'm going to end up doing exactly the same thing, aren't I? Yeah, I think I've just got to figure out how to get something done. So I'll do x here. I'll do 100 for now. I'm going to have to make it bigger later on. And now if I do equals sequence, oh yeah, whoops, got to transpose that stuff. I'll tell you what would be really funny is if it turns out all I've got to do is stick something inside curly braces. Just a little tip for you guys. Sometimes Excel does what you want when you put it inside curly braces. I don't know why. Just gonna give it a shot. I mean, there's a problem with a lot of things, mate. Well, that's obviously not it then. Whoopsie! I know I should. It's the bad thing is it just seems like this is going to be excessively massive. I think you want to do this, but I get it. I understand. So now what we can do is equals text join. If I text join, oh, delimiter first. Whoopsie. Delimiter, comma, and then ignore empty. True. Yeah, I want to ignore empty. Close bracket. Hopefully, I'm going to pop this into a Word notepad. See what number it is. It's big. It's big. Has it been truncated though? It has not. I believe what I could do is if I have a look at the last one, goes up to 99 and starts all over again. Yeah. No, I don't believe it's the reverse of this. No, it's almost the reverse, but not really. So if I did this, what I'm actually going to do is because I'm going to have to go to 100, I'm going to drop this down. If I do A301, it gets exponentially bigger. Is exponentially the right word? Ooh. A301. So I think I've got 30,000 characters in a cell. Oh, here we go. That's the issue. Sorry, mate. I did something wrong. There's a lot of quiet. Sorry, there's so much noise going on inside my head, but page down, 300 right here. Control D. Now we have a massive, massive, massive formula right here. If I insert a field right here, and it equals text join or trim concat. You won't even need to trim it. It's none of the spaces there. Concat open bracket, and then do this. You can't do that, Alex. Equals text join. Delimiter, comma. Ignore empty, true. Text will be not X, be from here onwards. That returns 1. Now, if I look at this, it's going to be 1 to 300 basically, which is quite cool. There we go. Massive, massive string, and I'm really hoping that I can text join all of these. I've got a funny feeling though it's not going to like this at all. False. Either that or my spreadsheet's going to get massive at some point. But I don't know, you just have to, at some point you just have to get something to work first, and I think once you've got it to work, it'll be obvious. What's the calc issue? Text join. True, I think true. Never come across a calc formula before. Oh, I see. XFD2. No, it's this one. What's the issue with this? Equals concat. It's too big, I think. Now I've come across some issues now, eh? I've come across some issues now. I wonder what I'm going to do here. It's going to take a lot of thinking. I think we're starting to reach the edge. The edge of what Excel is able to manage. I think it's 200 might be fine. So I don't know whether I'll just try it with 200. Also looks like my streaming is taking a hit because of how much CPU this flipping Excel is taking up. That's really interesting. It's working for 100 right now. I wonder if there's a way of being able to. This is X right here. I could use the same. I could use this same grid for right, couldn't I? For Y, I mean. I've just got to figure out how to go about doing it. It really is struggling, eh? Let me get rid of this. Place that as values. All good. I believe I've hit the edge. It's a lot. What I actually need to do is just transpose this. Have it as one massive list. How do I do it the opposite way around? Let's have a quick look at this. Need to get that flip and reverse formula again, don't I? Where have I found that? So it looks like I'll just grab this formula, looks like it gets a reverse, and replace everything with R8. Wrong place. So this is X right here. But add another field in called Y. In the back of my head, I'm thinking about what's going to happen when we get to the 100 by 100, but I don't need to worry about that right now. B3. B3. See how this works. 2, 1, 3. Yes! Now I could just do the exact same thing I was doing with this one, which is equals text join, delimiter, ignore empty, yeah, true for now. Text 1, and then we'll do A 104. That's interesting. Got the delimiter right here. What's happening? Why has it got... Oh, I see what's going on. I put a comma instead of a semicolon. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. So which one's that one? I believe... Let's have a look back at tester. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. I've got them the wrong way around. So this one's 1, 2, 1. Then Y is actually 1, 1, 2. So this is Y. This is X. Copy and paste this as values. This is going to be Y. This is X right here. So I don't know. I'm going to keep all this, paste all this as values. So I don't necessarily, like, there's no point. This formula doesn't have to be here. It's just going to slow things down because it's going to have to recalculate every single time. So I've done that now. Now I've got a string. I can split this string out if I want to. So let's have a quick look. I'm just going to copy this over one more time. Delete that because I've done everything with up and down, left and right. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Let's have a look at some of the diagonals. OHEA, get rid of everything. Now let's look at some diagonal. Oh, I forgot about the other way. Diagonal 1. So let's have a quick look. Let's bring through this value right here for X, and then it's C2 for Y. Text column delimiter, comma. Let's try that one more time. Text split. Column delimiter, comma. If I do the same thing for C2, believe this is Y, this is X equals Y, this is X. So now what I'm going to have to do is see if I can do this. What I've got to do now is get this to the position. Oh, I didn't get rid of the tester, did I? Oh, goodness me, Alex, why did you do that? I'm trying to remember what it was. So it was what it was. It was this minus 1. concatenate that with x. 2, 11, 3, 12, 21. Yeah, this looks right. So how do I do that with this? If I did create a new formula. Delete this, and then if I were to do equals, ooh, starting to get complicated now. -1. Yeah, there you go, nice. Okay, now if I did concatenate that with x, which would be C2, hit enter. Here we go, we don't need these formulas anymore. If I just did all this times 1. Well, that's not right. What I was hoping to do is if I did this times 1, would hopefully mean it's going to convert it into a number, which it does. Screw these, you don't need this anymore. Now I've got this, my trusty tool right here. I can probably copy and paste into a bunch of different things. Now I can use this to grab the oy vey. Keep this as the base, I think, because otherwise I'm going to forget how it works. Diagonal 1. Diagonal 1. Hope everyone's following this. You know, no one's going to watch it, so it doesn't really matter. I can just sort of think to myself and I'll rewatch it at some point. But what I need to do now is take this. I'm going to plop this somewhere, actually. That is return the sequence that you need. So now what I can do is I can get equals mid, open bracket. Text is concat. Number of chars. Oh no, start number. It's this horrible thing. Number of chars is 1. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Y, J, W. Then it'll be T, W, U, T, W, U. Concatenate. There's going to be a ton of errors at the end, I guarantee, because this goes up to 100. Yeah, I flipping thought so. Let's just have a look at what it looks like at the end. NA. So what I'll do is I'll wrap this. If error 0. If error I just said if error, then empty string. Now I should be able to concat this. It should just ignore everything, shouldn't it? Now all I've got to do is create a mirror image and do the exact same thing. What I'm thinking is I don't even want to do that in a formula. There's no flipping point. I'm going to recreate this as a mirror. Because even if we get to here, 100 by 100, I can still do that. What was even the question? 45. Which words does not appear? Which word? I could have figured that one out already, I think. That's stupid. So let's get diagonal 2 then. How are we going to do this? Copy and paste this one down here. I think there might be an offset function, you know. Let's return the coordinates first. Should it be all the way the opposite? It's going to be this, isn't it? It's going to be this. I wanted to check the answers on this one. Yeah, so this is going to be the mirror image. So it's going to be equals 10 minus equals 10 minus F4, or E19, sorry. Keep that row the same, yeah. Plus 1. We should get 10 to 1 now. No flipping idea. Well, that's X sorted. How about Y? Right, how do we do Y then? Same thing, it's going to be like E19 or whatever it is. No, it's just going to be Y. It's just going to be Y, remember, because it's a mirror image. So I'm going to do equals offset. Reference right here, and then the first one is going to be this rows. Do that, make sure I do that in brackets actually. Open close bracket, and in here just do the opposite absolute formula to that one. Enter. I've got, oh, why? Well, that's not right. What the hell am I looking at? Oh, wait a second. This needs to be absolute first of all. Make things a lot more interesting. R. What? I see. It's supposed to be the other way around. Yeah, that whole row that whole row column thing sometimes confuses me slightly. TDWB, TDWB, okay. Yep, if I copy this down, YYXX, if I look here. Yeah, red right here. Oh, do we have a red here somewhere? No, we don't. Yeah, looks good to me. So diagonal 2. I've just realized I don't know what I'm going to do. There's a concatenation, like if it goes from here to here, and that makes a word. I've no idea what I'm going to do there, but I'm so weary right now. Copy and paste this. We'll just have a look at this. Bring this down to here. No idea. Let's have a quick look. Calls or is number search. Find text within text. Going to ignore the start number. Oh, equals or open bracket. First search and then second search is going to be R8 and R7, R9 instead of R8. Well, we've got no trues. That's not great, is it? That's because I've not. You'd expect there to be some trues. Whee! Today turns up. Let's have a look. Are there any? But the question is, which? So the question is, which word from the word list does not appear? I've got in here, I've got 1, 2, 3 words that do appear. Floor, index, some ifs today, trim, and year don't come up in any of these, apparently. Quick look. Must be something wrong with this then, eh? I must have done this wrong somehow because I'm only seeing true once. Unless I'm being really stupid. True. Yeah, true's only showing up for today. I'll be expecting to show up for about 4 more. I think there must be something wrong with the way I'm doing this here. There must be. Let's have a quick look. I have to reverse these two. 1 reversed, diagonal, 2 reversed. It's almost taken me an hour to do this, but I've figured it out. Now I've done this, these are going to be flipping easy. Guarantee. Let's have a look at how we do the reverse one now. Just be able to do this. R8, right? Let's have a look. Oh, lovely. Don't even need to flip and do it no more, you know? So I've got to add R10 and 11 to this horrible OR function now. 10, 11. 10 here. No way. Match some ifs. I think there's something wrong with this here. Let's copy and paste this over anyway. Bits manual matching for now. It is funny how you start to match manually when you're tired, when you know you should. You can't really trust yourself at that point. But let's just have a look. Thing is, I'm going to have to do this about 7 more times. So I'm going to come up with a more efficient way of doing it later on. So right now, I'm just taking a look at which ones are true here and which ones aren't. If I did this, if I did count ifs, and then what did I don't know. Plus, yeah, plus count ifs. Rearrange 1, yeah, true. Well, I don't even have to do that. I could just do true times 1, can't I? Because of BODMAS, it sort of won't worry about it. So I'm really hoping there's 1. Why? See me if a break man has breakdown while doing spreadsheet on YouTube. How there? Why there are 3 that are false still? Oh no, wait. There are 3. Yeah, there are 3. Some ifs never shows up apparently. Trim never shows up apparently. And year never shows up. In none of them ever. Trim doesn't show up here at all. Year doesn't show up here at all. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. In all of these. Oh. So the number of times you do something. Match and trim. Match shows up here. It's trim. The flipping answer's trim. Oh, 45. You can go do one, mate. It's trim. Like, I'm going to give up. If it's just like, I don't get how people, I'm sure I'm going to look back on this in a couple of years' time and go, this was ridiculous. Why did you do it like this, Alex, you know? Or someone's going to tell me something, or I'm going to go through something in the future. 46, exact same thing. I'm going to set it out like this instead now. I know what I'm doing now, I believe. I don't know what the quality's like. It's the same. It's the same thing though. Left, left to right, top to bottom, right to left, bottom to top, diagonal in any direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a string for each of these, basically, each of the potential directions. Because I should just be able to copy this over to all of them. 47, that's 10 by 10. Only becomes 20 by 20 at 48. I believe the last two are 100 by 100. But as I do it, hopefully things will start to make more sense to me. And now I've got to do diagonal and reverse, but it looks like that's going to go on to next week as well, because I've got 10 minutes left. So let's get all these done. I should be able to copy these over from 45. Oy vey. Okay. Have I started it? R8. Let's have a look. I have not. Let's get rid of all of these. Wrap them in there. Stupid. I don't know whether I decided I'd carry on doing this or not. I think I just saw the word rhubarb there, you know. Ooh, yep, these all look in order. I think I started a row higher. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to change all this now, and I diagonal 1. Diagonal 2. Where do I start this? D19. Ooh. D19, right here. Take diagonal 2 now. I'm so glad that logic's out of the way. It's so difficult because you want to get like the balance between being able to have a piece of code that's repeatable and easy to use, but you also want to develop things quickly as well. That looks slightly... Oh, I've not reversed it, that's why. Stupid Alex. W looks good. The entire thing. R should be up there. R, H, B, F, S, A, V, U, T, D. Perfect, looks good. Now diagonal reversed. I'm really hoping I can just take this, copy them, and then just move some stuff around basically when opening up the formula. If I did this, R10, always diagonal 1. Just drop this down, I think probably might be a good idea. There's always R12, yeah. This one's good, I've just got to figure this out now. I'll transpose this. I said transpose this. I'm just going to do the same format as before, where I have the different orientations across the top. Come on. And then the words along the bottom. Nope, the words along the side. zoom out for a second. I'm just going to do equals is number search. Look for value. Search. Open bracket. 5 minutes left. Alex, find text. Within text. Times it by 1, I believe. It's going to make it way easier to handle. 0. Now let's copy this down, see if it works. We've got it. Nope, that's not worked. That needs to be. This needs to be relative. A quick look. Make sure the formulas work though. So none of them are left to right apparently. I'm going to copy this across. Then just click into each of the formulas, drag it down to 3. It's one of those things where you go like 4, no, 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 no. Is that silly Alex? It's top to bottom. Left to right, is that correct? Yeah. Top to bottom. Looks like it works. Right to left. Bottom to top, yeah. Diagonal. Diagonal 2. Diagonal 1 reversed. Just so you guys know, I'm just popping in and clicking F2, and that pops you straight into the formula. Diagonal 2 reversed. It's getting so exciting now, because it's taking me a bit of time to build this now, but if I've done this correctly, I just better equal sum, and sum all of these, and it should let me know whether it's come through in one of them or not. Some that have shown up multiple times, which is quite cool. Let's have a look at what the actual question is. Appears twice in the grid. I've got today. Today appears twice in the grid. I'll tell you what, if we go through the answers next week and it turns out none of these are true, I'm quitting Excel for the rest of my life. Rest of my flipping life. I'm copying and pasting all this. Q7. And where is a diagonal? I know I'm just gone over an hour. I just want to get 47 done, please. Then I'll come back here. D19 is what I need to do. Go here again, D19. Why is reverse so much longer? That makes no sense at all. Why is reverse so much longer? I tell you what, when you've zoomed things out, it really looks sort of funny. There should be 100 there. Why does it finish at M? Should start with R and finish at Q. What is going on? Let's zoom out here. I think I may have gotten away with it here, you know. There's one that appears twice, but what the hell is going on here? Why is it not stopping at D? If I did this, that's really bad. I think I'm gonna have to wait till next week to figure this out. Oh man. I can see some ifs though, which is quite cool. Let me have a quick look, see what is going. Why is this? It's not going to be longer, Alex. You big idiot. You big idiot. What's going on? Why is it like that? Let's have a look for RTD. Let's have a look for RTD. See what comes up. I'll just mark it. Never shows up apparently. Obviously doing something wrong, aren't I? It's a real shame. Real shame that is. Looks like I've screwed things up. Anyway, tune in next week to see what I've done wrong. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe this bit just doesn't work. That could be the fact. Could be the fact it doesn't flipping work really. Maybe it only works up to halfway. But then I reckon RCR is going to be there. Then MSSA is the next one. Where's MSSA? You know what I mean? RCR, then it should go ISSAA. All right, that's what I'm gonna have to spend next week doing. I think is trying to figure out where I've gone wrong with this diagonal issue. Chances are, when I read through it next time, I'm gonna come up with a completely different solution. So tune in next week, and I'll figure it out there. Hope to speak to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.